Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you can hear me. Righto, welcome to the state-of-the-art recording class. We are doing today video recordings. I'm going to introduce today to you the topic, and then for your homework, you were divided into groups, 10 groups for students. So each of the groups will come and present their topic for us here in front today. You will be recorded, and part of the surprise is we will put today's class with your recording for record purposes on the Vutela site. It is okay. Right. Shh. Quiet down. The more you talk, it's not going to help. I know. To do a presentation, they say the thing that people fear next to death, the second most feared thing, is to do public speaking. Hey. So you must think your lecturers are actually very good because they are always doing public speaking. Righto. So as we go along, we will proceed and I will show you how to follow the procedure and so on. You will get marks for today's class and for your presentation. This is an assignment that you will get marks for. All right. Righto. Yes, ma'am. If you're the only one here, you are going to present and then you get the marks. If you're not here in today's class, the mark is not. As easy as that. That is why it's important to attend your classes. Righto. Yes, ma'am. Righto. That was not a very difficult assignment. I asked 4 students to give me 1 sentence. 1 sentence. Go and Google it. Not very difficult. Righto. So, we are doing today the second part of planning a healthy diet. And we are looking specifically into the food-based dietary guidelines. Now, we need the food-based dietary guidelines to inform, educate, and empower consumers, not people who are educated in nutrition or dietitians and so on. The food-based dietary guidelines is specifically written for consumers. I will also put this presentation for you on Blackboard, so you don't have to write it down. Why do we need the food-based dietary guidelines? To make the right food and beverage choices to ensure that the public eat healthy. Now, adequate diets are needed throughout your life cycle. What is one's life cycle? You're born from baby stage through teenager, young adolescents to the elderly. Everyone have different dietary needs and requirements, but this set of guidelines, the South African food-based dietary guidelines, cover most of these population groups in their different life cycles. And it is also there for optimal physical and mental growth and development to ensure that we have healthy human beings. Then consumers eat foods. We do not eat nutrients. Remember last year, we looked at all the different nutrients, and this year we are more going to focus on how to help the public or people visiting our restaurants to make healthy food choices. Now, nutrient-based recommendations to the public with our food-based dietary guidelines need to be written in such a way that the consumers will understand exactly what is meant by each of the guidelines. And as you already know, there are 10 new guidelines. The old guidelines were 11. Now, another thing on the food-based dietary guidelines, it needs to be country-specific. So for each and every country have their own ones. If they do not have, like for instance in Nigeria, I currently have a doctorate student who is from Nigeria, who's working in developing the food-based dietary guidelines for Nigeria. We've already have guidelines in Europe, in Ireland, in America, Australia, New Zealand, in the Asian countries and so on. So there are a lot of different guidelines. But for us in South Africa, we have the specific guidelines for South Africa. And this is also based on the average local foods that is available and the eating patterns that South Africans do have. Now, as you all know, it's very difficult to change eating behavior. So even if we educate people, they still do not eat correct. So it's very, very difficult. So we have to come up with some really simple guidelines in order to assist people to change their dietary intake and their food choices. Now there are certain barriers. For instance, poverty can hamper you from using the guidelines properly and correctly, and we will see that later today. And also food insecurity are another barrier. In other words, healthier choices are not available for insecure people. In other words, it's part of poverty. They don't have enough money. They don't have transport to access the food and so on. Or in certain places, it is just, you cannot reach this shops that can give you food at the best prices and so on. And also then it falls under affordability. Also, peer pressure. Because your friends are eating this, then I'm eating this. Everybody around me is eating this food. Or had this food choices, so then it's okay with me. So the peers do influence you. If you're a student and you go on the taxis and everybody is eating these chips in the morning that you can buy, these pops, then it's just easier for yourself to buy those instead of buying something that is healthier like a fruit or some other foods. Also, aggressive marketing. Today on the television and so on, you are welcome at the back. Right, you will be only one time late for my class, and that is recorded that you are late for the class. So I'm not going to say any more about that. So marketers are aggressive people, and they will coerce you in eating foods that are not so healthy, which contains a lot of fats and sugars, for instance. So we call those junk foods because they have a poor micronutrient content, or they are less micronutrient dense. Also, drinks are coming more affordable and more available in developing countries. So people who are staying in rural areas doesn't have access to all these kinds of soft drinks and so on. So that also changes people's eating behavior and health choices. Right. Then what happens is researchers start developing the South African food-based dietary guidelines, which was the first time published in 2003. I was part as an honors student when we started in 1996, the scientists in developing the guidelines for South Africa. And you can see from 1996 to 2003 is about 7 years. So it takes a very long time to develop these simple 11 guidelines, which are the old guidelines. So it is well researched, and even then it also come about that they are not as they should be, and people do not understand it clearly. So they have then revised and revisited the food-based dietary guidelines. And for your homework, I ask you to get the new food-based dietary guidelines, which was published in 2013. So we are working according to the 2013 guidelines. And they've started since 2003 up till 2012. They finished it, and it was published only in 2013. Okay, right. So I want the group who draw number 1, not the red number 1, the black number 1 group. All 4 of your group members, please come to the front. You may read, so you don't have to talk out of your heads, okay? So I don't mind that you are reading from your paper. So were you just free in the group? Okay, right, I want you to state your name, each of you, and then you choose a leader who will then tell us what is your guideline, and then another student will just tell us a little bit more information about your guideline. And then you're off the hook. Okay, right. We don't have a set rules on how we are going to do it. Okay. Right on. Name. Then the next one. So I first want all 3 names, and then you can start presenting. Right on. Please be quiet, because it's just good manners to listen to what they are presenting. This is part of the guidelines on which you will be examined. So the information that they are going to give will be recorded, will be on the Butera site. So you can go and listen to it again and make your own summaries for the exam. I will use this information as well for the exam. Right.
Morning class. My name is Ritabile Hendrina Malachi. My name is Ritabile Hendrina Malachi.
Hi guys, my name is Karabo Mataneng.
Good morning class. My name is Kozi Bamfuke.
I'm going to explain what is a dietary guideline. Food-based dietary guidelines are short, simple, positive messages for everyone on how to choose a healthy diet to help decrease risk of development of diseases and getting an excess of nutrients.
How does the guideline influence what we eat? Firstly, we have to determine factors that influence food. They include biological determinants such as hunger, taste, appetite, economic determinants such as cost of food, income for the availability of food. With the food we eat, they provide our bodies the information and material they need to properly function so that our metabolic process do not suffer. Guidelines help us make proper eating decisions and try new recipes with great nutrients, since there are nurturing substances in food that are vital for growth. Nutrients in the 5 food groups enables our body cells to perform necessary function. Lastly, the guidelines help us to eat healthy, to help to instruct our body to become well-nourished and decrease risk of develop of diseases. They make sure that we eat healthy and help our body and with the 5 food groups.
Well, with our guidelines, we chose guideline number 1, which is eat a variety of food. What do we mean by eat a variety of food? Well, according to our understanding, we mean that eating from each of the 5 food groups daily in the recommended amount. Second one being that you should try new recipes to keep your meals from being repetitive. Third one being that you should protect yourself from getting an excess of nutrients by not eating the same food day after day. Fourth one, mix up your vegetables, have a variety between your vegetables and fruits. As we all know that food is meant to be enjoyed, so eating a variety of food ensures that you do not get bored with eating. And then lastly, eating from the 5 food groups provides us with different types of amounts of key nutrients that way our bodies get to benefit more and enable us to function the correct way. Thank you.
Okay, how does the food guideline link to last week Friday class? Okay, since we were discussing about food groups and how they help us maintain a healthy eating lifestyle, they help us eat the daily recommended amount of nutrients that are needed by our bodies. Ensures that we do not get bored with food, since food is made to be enjoyed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, group number 1. Well done. Right. Group number 2. For group number 2, you come. You can just name your guideline and tell me what is the guideline all about. You don't have to do all the information that the first group have done. Okay, just the guideline and what the guideline means. That's what I want to see today. Okay, shh. This is not time for preparation. Preparation should be done long ago. Remember to okay. You can put it down there because we are using the back camera. Okay. Please state your names. Wow. You did a nice presentation. Okay, if you want to
your name. Your name first.
okay, names of the 3.
Good morning, classmates. My name is Nelisa Prisla Pagat.
Good morning. My name is Devisano Vukeya.
Good morning. My name is Keke Letsong Fukeng.
According to our guideline, we are group number 2, and our South African dietary guideline is about be active. The key to a health diet is to eat the amount of calories for how active you are to balance energy you consume with the energy you use. Eat wide range of food to ensure that you are getting a balanced diet and that your body is receiving all the nutrients it needs. Eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. It recommended that we eat at least 5 portions of variety of fruit and vegetable every day. When all Number 2, and then we need to cut down the saturated fat and sugar. When all some fat in our diet, but it's important to pay attention to the amount or type of fat we are eating. Too much saturated fat can increase the amount of cholesterol in the blood, which increases the risk of developing heart disease. Get active and be a healthy weight. Eating a healthy, balanced diet plays an essential role in maintaining a healthy weight, which is important for the overall of good health. And then number 3, don't get thirsty. We need to drink plenty of fluid to stop us getting dehydrated. This is an additive to the fluid we get from the food we eat. All non-alcoholic drinks count, but water and lower-fat milk are the healthier choices. Try to avoid sugary, soft, and fizzy drinks that are high in added sugars and calories and are also bad for the teeth. The other one is don't skip breakfast. Some people skip breakfast because they think it will help them lose weight. A healthy breakfast is an important part of the balanced diet and provides some of the vitamins and minerals we need for the good health. A whole grain, lower sugar cereal with fruits sliced over the top is tasty and nutritious breakfast.
And then how to be active. You need to have health and fitness exercise in order to be active. Live well. Boost your health and fitness with fun and practical ideas to active and improve your general health. And then lose weight. Weight loss resources to lose weight healthy, including BM calculator and dietary reviews.
The last thing we have here is how does the guideline link to today's class? These guidelines link to today's class in such a way that people are active and some are overweight because of consuming too much cholesterol. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Group 2. Well done. Give him a hand. Righto, then we come to Group 3. Never be 100% ready. Right, class, quiet. Now we go to Group 3. Right, introduce what you have.
Okay, hello ladies and gentlemen. My name is Tapsile and our guideline today is be active. South African have diverse origin, but everyone faces the challenges of addressing the burden of non-communication diseases. Food-based disease guideline introduced guideline be active because of food-based diseases guideline introduced guideline be active because of physical activities and because of well-established link between reduced risk of mortality and morbidity that associates with physical activity.
Okay, morning Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ronalda Maifo, and then I'll be doing how does it influence what we eat. Active have a positive effect on what we eat. Regular exercises have a protection on bone, which is noticeable throughout the life cycle and can reduce risk of frailty and osteoporotic features later in life. Furthermore, the improved mineralization of bone through physical activity in childhood from as young as 5 years can persist into young adulthood and increasing the bone mineral density.
Hi everyone, my name is Moopech Kombeni and I will be doing conclusion. From the available evidence, it is clear that being active is important intervention for the promotion of healthy and addressing NCDs in South Africa. National physical activity policy must be developed for all age groups and should be the one of the highest priorities when treating and preventing diseases. This policy should be implemented in the public health sector using trained professionals. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Group 3. And we have a missing presenter in Group 3. You must state your name, at least, and tell us what you've learned about this.
My name is Mkana Mfana. Okay. Nothing more, guys. Nothing more, guys. Nothing.
Okay. At least you tried to participate. You gave the computer, seems like for me. Okay, then we go to Group 4. Don't be scared. I cannot kill you guys.
I'm not scared of them, trust me. I've been with them for the whole year. So.
Yeah,
Good morning, class. Yeah.
Be quiet.
Yes.
Listen to what they have to say to us.
Yeah, cool. Yes. Good morning. Good morning, class. Yes. My name is Mr. Rakolute, and this is Mohashwa, and Mr. Dau, and Mrs. Shianga. Yes. She will be doing the introduction for us.
Okay. This thing is not working.
Now it's working. You must talk in it. It's not for the class to hear. It's for the recording.
Oh, for the recording. Okay. According to our guideline number 4, it says eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. Okay, so we are going to tell you about the benefits of eating fruits and vegetables, the importance of eating fruits and vegetables, the daily consumption of fruits and vegetables. We all know that fruits and vegetables are essential sources of rich nutrients, and they can be prepared differently and still benefit our health. While there are so many reasons to include these nutritional powerhouse into your daily diet. Starting with the idea, they are so accessible and portable. And here are a few reasons worth mentioning from my group members.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'll be telling you the benefits of fruits and veggies in our diet. As a nation, we are heavier than ever. The rise in obesity is at all-time high and largely the result of being overfed or undernourished coupled with a sedentary lifestyle. Instead of choosing low-calorie, low-fat, and high-quality foods, many of us are eating nutrient-void, calorically dense subfoods which are loaded with fat, sugar, calories, and chemicals. Another benefit is that fruits and vegetables also protect our health. These healthy foods contain essential vitamins, minerals, and fiber that help protect your chronic diseases, which can be painful, debilitating, and even fatal in some cases. Eating fruits and veggies boosts your immune system. Your immune system is like an internal army. When it's strong, it protects its border against invasion. When it's weak, it's as if the army is fast asleep. Fruits and veggies keep you full for longer. The fiber coming from many fruits and vegetables helps us to fill us up without filling us out. Also, we want this to see a plate that's full, and when it's filled with unhealthy choices, the calories add up quickly, adding bulk to our plate in the form of a salad. Cooking vegetables and more gives us the satisfaction of having more and feeling satisfied without the downside eating too much foods that don't provide us with the nutrients we need. Fruits and veggies also boost your confidence. How? I guess you're asking. Empty calories coming from refined carbohydrates increase our appetite and desire for foods high in sugar. Many of us, these cravings are so strong we can feel powerless as we spend years often decades, struggling with binge, emotional, and disordered eating. I'm going to hand over to Soso. He will explain our menu for us.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to elaborate a bit further on the menu, still based on our topic, fruit and vegetables, as important nutrient to our diet. Firstly, let's start with breakfast. Slice open a melon or cantaloupe or a grapefruit. Add bananas, raisins, dates, or berries to your cereals. Drink a small ounce, like 6 ounces of glass juice, because it's 100% fruit or vegetable juice without excess sodium or added sugars. Not fruit drink or cocktails or a punch. Add chopped vegetables to your eggs or potatoes. Try onions, celery, green or red peppers, or spinach. For your lunch, you can enjoy hearty fruit and vegetable salad for lunch. Add vegetables to your sandwich, such as cucumbers, sprouts, tomatoes, lettuce, or avocados. Eat a bowl of vegetables soup. Compare foods labels to avoid excess sodium or make sodium for starch. Have a piece of fruit or raw veggies sticks instead of chips or fries. For snacks, you can keep raw veggies sticks handy if you want snacks, such as red bell peppers, cucumbers, green beans, celery, or carrots. Carry dried fruits like raisins, dates, apricots in your bag for snacks and the go. Grab a whole fresh fruit like an apple or banana or an orange. Like we know, the saying says an apple a day keeps the doctor away. For dinner, please excuse that. For dinner, I think we're gonna have, slide down. Zoom out. Zoom out. I seem to have technical problems, excuse me. But for dinner, anyway, what you can do is like have don't make sure that you don't repeat the same fruit that you had for breakfast or lunch, because there's a wide variety of fruit and vegetables. And yes, for some green vegetables, try not to peel off the greens, because that's where the nutrients are. And don't try and overcook the fruit and vegetables that you have, and try and enjoy your fruits and vegetables. Thank you very much.
Only the two of you? No. Okay. Just mention your name and relax. No. Just relax. I cannot.
Hello.
No, thank you. Now, please keep quiet. We have the next group presenting.
Hello guys, my name is Ribone Sekhuile and we're doing guideline number 5, which is eat dry beans, split peas, lentils and soya regularly. This guideline is basically about legumes, which are plants with seed pods that split into 2 halves. These include green beans, peas, peanuts, soybeans and broad beans. Legume has a family which includes vegetable crops, oilseeds, soy crops, and pulses, which are dry beans, split peas.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And my name is Tutuzile Skosana. And as she said, that we're going to be talking about the legumes and the seed department. Well, I'll be discussing how the guideline influences what we eat. It's a little bit, it helps us choose. It gets a bit easier if we have like seeds, like legumes and stuff in our daily plate. It also helps us in reducing the diseases that we have on a daily basis, like people who have high blood pressure. It could help, and it also helps in terms of color. It brings more color into your plate. For us not to get bored as well, like when you see a color on your plate and then you get so interested and you want to eat that thing. And the excitement of seeing protein. Protein is also like meat, and your meat is the excitement of human beings seeing meat on the plate, so they want to eat the meat.
Greetings, my name is Mposeleke, and I'll be discussing the topic, how does this guideline link to last week's class? This guideline, eat dry beans, split peas, lentils, and soya regularly. Legumes are rich and economical sources of good quality protein, slow release, carbohydrates, dietary fiber, non-starch polysaccharides, various vitamins and minerals, and non-nutritive components which may have several beneficial health effects. Pulses have a low energy, fat, and sodium content. Therefore, legumes contribute to dietary adequacy while protecting against non-communicable diseases through many mechanisms. More research is needed to assess gastrointestinal responses between types of available and consumed legumes, split peas, as well as lentils and soya in SA.
Good morning. Standing before you is Nobile Yende. I'll be discussing the importance of legumes, basically. So legumes and soybeans are convenient in today's lessons because we find that some of the benefits include the changes in overweight barriers. It also helps to prevent some diseases since it contains some vitamins as well as as well as advance the knowledge that they are low in fat and particularly saturated and trans fat. They link to today's lessons, as I mentioned, that they are healthy and they have many proteins and vitamins. Thank you.
And last but not least, the FBDG should be tested in different population groups to determine how to maintain legumes as traditional foods. They should incorporate more in our diet, in our daily diet. We all want a healthy lifestyle. We all want to eat and feel great each and every day. Just remember that too much of a good thing is not healthy, whichever way you do it. My name is Duduzile Skosana again, and we thank you.
Okay, then I call upon group 6. Guideline number 6.
Ma'am, you were supposed to tell us this was a very formal event. Now I'm wearing things that are not appropriate. So what bill are we to Emma glass and man? Yes, ma'am, because now I've got things.
Righto, group 6 on the way. Shh, please be quiet and listen.
Good morning, people. We are doing guideline number 6, which states that you should have milk, amasi, and yogurt every day. The National Food Consumption Survey has shown that most South Africans don't consume enough vitamin A, thiamine, niacin, riboflavin, vitamins B6, B12, and C, calcium, iron, and zinc. Lack in dietary variety and low intake of fruits and vegetables, legumes, and animal source foods are singled out as reasons. At the same time, South Africa has high rates of the so-called chronic diseases of lifestyle, non-communicable diseases related to dietary factors. These include heart disease, high blood pressure, and type 2 diabetes. Milk, mass, or yogurt intake every day will reduce current nutrient gaps in the diets of most South Africans and protect against chronic diseases in future.
Milk is a source of high-quality protein, supplying the amino acids that the body needs to build muscles and other tissues. Dairy, furthermore, should significantly contribute to South African children's intake of vitamin A, riboflavin, zinc, and vitamin B12. The mineral content of dairy plays an important role in optimal health. The potassium content of milk is of particular importance for populations that do not meet the recommended fruit and vegetable intakes of 400 grams per day. Without sufficient dairy intake, it is highly unlikely that consumers will meet their calcium requirements.
The solution: encourage optimal use of milk, mass, and yogurt among consumers. Constantly offering milk as a beverage to children will ensure that drinking milk becomes a lifelong habit. The addition of milk, mass, or yogurt to cereal and porridge, as well as milk to coffee and tea, can also make a difference. Don't forget milk in cooking and yogurt in the lunchbox.
In conclusion, having milk or mass yogurt every day packs a punch in fights against both existing and future nutritional problems. It's a double deal. Thank you.
Well done. Right, guideline number 7.
same information.
That's fine. Present. Present, go.
Ame.
Okay, quiet. Please remember to mention your name before you start presenting.
My name is Juanita, and we'll be presenting about diet number 7, which is have milk, mass, or yogurt every day.
My name is Mashilo Mpong. The purpose of FBDG is to guide the population in choosing healthy diet, and consumption of dairy product play an important role in women's development and well-being.
Hi everyone, my name is Happiness Mkabela. Milk is a good source of high quality protein containing useful amounts of all indispensable amino acids. Milk is also a good source for calcium. Milk can be used to complete food with lysine deficient protein, which strengthens bones, and milk is good for babies who are growing. It develops their bones. Thank you. This is Juanita Altawa signing out.
Okay, please behave yourself. Because really, you're acting like second year. Second year, you can't keep their mouth shut and listen. Bad manners. Now it's recorded. Now. Okay. Thank you very much. Calm down. Good luck.
Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Nombuyiselo Mukneri, and our guideline is guideline number 8. According to guideline number 8, fish, chicken, lean meat, and eggs can be eaten daily because they are of complete high quality and they are easily digestible. They contain essential micronutrients such as iron, zinc, vitamin A, vitamin B12, and calcium.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kiti Metsemapologelo. How does the guideline influence what we eat? It was formulated based on the nutritional contribution that the food contains. Fish, chicken, lean meat, and eggs have the quality source of protein which is important to our body.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kisawaka Kebatlile. I'm going to answer this question: how does the guideline link to class of today? Surely, all of us doesn't follow the guidelines well, because we eat more than recommended intake, because a normal diet should include the following. One must eat 2 or 3 fishing servings per week. For example, picha, tuna, and so on. Approximately 4 eggs per week. I know you eat more than that. A serving of lean meat as defined by the regulation on can be eaten daily but should be limited to 90 grams per day.
Morning, ladies and gents. My name is Mandla. In conclusion, although the production of livestock has increased in developing countries, undernutrition, including the insufficient consumption of protein, remains a persistent problem in the developing countries. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Group 8. Then we come to Group 9. Okay, thank you. Let's hear what Group 9 have to say. Good luck, girls.
Good morning. Okay. Morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Veronica Leshavani, and our guideline is use salt sparingly. It is now established that an increase in salt intake leads to an increase in blood pressure, and that decreased salt intake relative to the usual or increased intake leads to lowered blood pressure, and is a strong proxy indicator for the risk of cardiovascular diseases, coronary heart disease, stroke, and kidney disease. Although sodium is an essential element, it is required in small amount only. Comprehensive strategies that focus on salt reduction are needed to reduce national blood pressure levels in the future.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Bitumelo Kelebonyi. I'm going to discuss the food-based dietary guidelines for South Africa. They are as follows. Enjoy a variety of foods. Be active. Make starchy foods the basis of most meals. Eat plenty of vegetables and fruits every day. Eat dry beans, peas, lentils, and soy regularly. Eat fat sparingly. Use salt sparingly.
Morning, everyone. My name is Nosi Puhatewe, and I'm going to talk about the benefits of salt in our body or diet. A low sodium diet and how it benefits our health. One step to healthy living is healthy eating, which includes maintaining a low sodium diet. Sodium chloride is a major contributor to high blood pressure. High blood pressure is the leading cause of heart disease. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. My name is Nomsar Boningo Hlungwan, and I'll be doing the conclusion. The size of each group segment reflects the volume the group should contribute to the total daily diet. Thank you.
We then continue to group 10, which is the second last group, and I will present the last guideline. Good luck, ladies. Enjoy.
Hi, everyone. My name is Shartina Mwabelo, and our guideline is use foods and drinks high in sugar very sparingly. How does the guideline influence what we eat? There is basically no nutritional benefit that comes from eating food with added sugar. So foods and drinks high in sugar are a prime source of extra calories that can contribute to weight gain and other diseases such as type 2 diabetes, heart diseases, and certain conditions that are chronic. So find other alternatives that you can eat or drink that are less in sugar.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Louisa Pete, and we will be discussing sugar should be consumed sparingly. As we know that too much sugar consumption can cause diabetes, as Shartina has said. Donuts, fizzy drinks are known to be nutrient dense, low proteins, but high in sugar. The sugar that we do not use in our body is then stored as glucose, and that can cause us to be obese. Rather consume food with natural sugar, e.g. your fruits and vegetables.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be discussing the key messages of sugar as well as the conclusion. So the key messages: sugar can be enjoyed in healthy eating plan when used sparingly. Sugar and many foods made with sugar don't provide vitamins and minerals to the eating plan. Frequent consumption of sugar, especially between meals, is a risk for dental decay. Frequent consumption of sweetened cold drinks and juice can lead to obesity when the total energy value of the eating plan is higher than needed. And so how this guideline has influenced this lesson, we're hoping that we've provided you guys with a much more broader advanced acknowledgement about sugar, its dangerous effects, and therefore how and why to use it sparingly. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Righto. The last group. With the red, you draw the red number 1. No? Yeah. Okay, can we have some order in the class? Let the last group present. They do not have guideline number 11. It was in the old guidelines of 2003. It's no longer included in the 2013 guidelines, and you will soon hear why it's not included anymore. Thank you very much.
Good day, everyone. My name is Palesa Kholonyana, and we will be discussing about the first set of South African-based dietary guideline. I'm going to start by defining what a guideline is. It refers to a toolkit that educates patients, clients, and other professionals about nutrition. They provide advices on foods, food groups, and dietary patterns to provide the required nutrients to the general public to promote overall health and prevent chronic diseases. The first set of guidelines were created in 2003. However, some of these guidelines were misinterpreted. My group will therefore explain further about this.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Sawa Makwela. The old guidelines include being active, eating dairy, beans, soya beans, chicken meat, eggs can be eaten daily, drink lot of clean and safe water, eat plenty of vegetable and fruit every day, use food and drink containing sugar. We have guidelines which was misinterpreted, which are enjoying a variety of food, making starch food the basic of most meal. Thank you.
Good day, everyone. My name is Trudy Mokhobu, and why was the old guideline changed? Some of the first FBDG in the first set, especially the alcohol FBDG, might have been misinterpreted by consumers. Example, consumers with chronic diseases drink a lot of alcohol, thinking that it is not bad as it is stated in the guideline, and therefore they drink more than required. And food and vegetables should be the most on meals and not starch. The point of variety of food was not critically addressed. Some of the people ate a variety of wrong food. Thank you.
Well done. Thank you very much to each and every one of you who participate today. The main objective of this exercise was for you to do group work. I will discuss the how I will evaluate this in Monday's class. What I just want to do now is to go through the South African food-based dietary guidelines, summarized on one page. I'm going to first show you the 2003 ones, and then we will go to the 2013 ones. I see some of you have misinterpreted what each of them mean. It might be because people copy and paste the guidelines and then use it. So it depends on which sources you use on the internet. So that is one of the problems, that when we go to the internet, that people take original stuff and change it according to their thinking. And sometimes things like the South African food-based dietary guidelines are guides that is set in stone. So in here, the words and the wording that are used are very important. So remember, when you are going to study and learn the guidelines, The first guideline is an excellent example. Enjoy a variety of food. Not in the test, I'm going to mark the words enjoy a variety of food, because that word tells something different than enjoy a variety of food, or just eat a variety of food. Can you hear? Enjoy a variety of food means something different than just merely eat a variety of food. So part of the development of the guidelines was done in such a way that the words have really meaning. And that is one thing that you as a student need to learn, that words got specific meaning, and we need to choose our words very carefully. Even when we are writing our assignments, we need to look at the words that we are using. You need to not merely copy and paste things when you are doing an assignment. You have to develop the skill to write a sentence and read it after you've written it, because most students submit assignments with incomplete sentences, half-written sentences, and nonsense that you are writing. So be very careful, because when you're coming into my BTech class, you will discover that using words, writing proper sentences, use the language correctly are very, very important. So that is also the reason why you have your language classes, is to help you to use the language in a proper way. As academics, we need to write. And also in your further career, you will have lots of time that you have to write reports about the job you have done. Doesn't matter whether you are working in a kitchen and so on, report writing is always important. So choosing our words are very important. Right, so let me go quickly through the guidelines. It is enjoy a variety of foods, the first one. The second one is be active. The third one, which we didn't hear as a presentation today, was make starchy foods the basis of most meals. Then number 4 is eat dry beans, peas, lentils, and soy regularly. One thing that I want to highlight here, people do not like beans and peas and lentils and do not like to cook it, because it is time consuming to cook it and it takes a lot of energy to cook it. So this one poses a particular problem. But if we look at the work that we've done last year, in these foods, there are quite a number of nutrients that is very important for us. This is also a cheap source of proteins as well. So we need to start thinking of, maybe it takes longer to cook and it's a bit more expensive, but then it is a cheap source of proteins, and these two start balancing one another out. So at the end of the day, it is not as expensive as meat, because your cooking time is cheaper than it will cost to buy meat at the end of the day. Right. Then the next one is chicken, fish, meat, or eggs can be eaten daily. Can you see there's a specific prescriptor? It can be eaten daily. And the word can be eaten daily, can you see that excludes the vegans? So vegetarians don't have to eat it according to the guidelines. So that the designers of the guidelines have kept in mind. Then one that we also missed today is drink lots of clean, safe water. Not any water. It must be clean and safe. We have currently in South Africa, I think it was last week, 172 deaths already on listeriosis, which is an illness that is spread by food, and it does kill people, as you can hear from November last year, 172 people. So scientists are currently trying to figure out what is the source. I cannot link it currently to one single source, but they are saying one have to cook your meat. Especially also in the Vaal region. The water from the Vaal River is not safe to drink, and you have seen that it's already published in the local newspaper that we should not drink the water from the river. So these are really serious things that we need to take into consideration. Then I must commend the guys on eat plenty of vegetables and fruit every day. And that was quite an interesting presentation. It's plenty fruit and vegetables. Okay, and then the next one was eat fat sparingly and use salt sparingly. And then the last one was, if you drink alcohol, drink sensibly. That was an old guide. They've removed it because people argued that we encouraged people, then the public, to drink alcohol, and that was not the intention of this guideline. This guideline was like consuming a glass of wine per day for women, and remember it was 2 glasses for men. We've done that last year. So yeah, then they decided to remove it from the guidelines. So, and then use foods and drinks containing sugar sparingly and not between meals was the last one of the 2003 guidelines. So, the 2012 guidelines, I will put them on Vutela for you. So enjoy a variety of foods, still the same, be active. Can you see the exclamation mark there that is now added to it because it indicates the activeness of that statement? Then make starchy foods part of most meals. So it's in direct contrast with Tim Noakes, who's claiming that we should have a high protein, high fat diet. But this is for the whole population, and that is the difference. If you go and look in the whole Tim Noakes situation, he is talking, and he's in athletics, so he's working with sport people and so on, and they have a different diet than the general public need to eat. Then eat plenty of vegetables and fruits every day, remains the same. Eat dry beans, split peas, lentils and soya regularly. Have milk, mass or yogurt every day. Then they have fish, chicken, lean meat. Can you see they're specifically on lean meat, and eggs can be eaten daily. Then drink lots of clean, safe water. Then the number 9 comes in with use fat sparingly. Choose vegetable oils rather than hard fat. We have discussed that last year intensively, and I think it was chapter 4 when we look at the different fats. And then use sugar and foods. Oh no, that one is wrongly typed. Use sugar in foods and drinks high in sugar sparingly. Okay, so that is the official South African food-based dietary guidelines. Righto. Then, when they design guidelines, it should follow certain characteristics. Food-based dietary guidelines, and some of the students did present it for us today, should be short, simple, should be positive, marketable messages for everyone on how to choose a healthy diet. So it should be optimal, balanced, adequate, and prudent. They are about foods and not nutrients, as I said in the beginning of the lecture. They address nutrition-related public health problems in the country. They are evidence-based, so they are based on scientific background, and they must be realistic, doable, promoting local, indigenous, and traditional foods. And I was so glad to hear that somebody in the legume guideline referred to the traditional foods and so on. So those were also taken into account and needs to be taken into account when designing guidelines. Right. There are other food-based dietary guidelines for specifically South Africa available, and that is the pediatric food-based dietary guidelines. And currently we are working on the food-based dietary guidelines for the elderly. We had 2 years ago, we took the BTEC group for their research project, and we did research on the elderly to see if the guidelines that we propose are workable and doable and understandable for the population, and we did that in the Sebokeng area. So yeah, we as the department is also busy and part of developing guidelines for South African food-based dietary guidelines. Righto, and that is all for this Friday. I will release you now. Have a very nice weekend, and I see you